For almost 20 years, I was in a relationship with a narcissist, and I didn't even know what that word meant. And the one thing that really did my head in was the thought process behind getting divorced. Yeah, not just hard, not just shit, like the end of everything. That's how much shame that I had attached to that word divorce. I thought getting a divorce was just an absolute failure as a man. Yeah. And I reckon for a good 12 months, 18 months, I didn't tell a single person about going through the divorce. I didn't tell family. I didn't tell friends, work colleagues, people at the gym, anyone, no one. I don't even think I mentioned it to the kids. Probably mentioned it to my dogs, but yeah, no one at all. Yeah, and I was going through all the court stuff, all the separations, all the emails from the lawyers, all the allegations, just all the bullshit, all the, what do you call it, the child protection services meetings, like all the things, all the shit we had to go through, and didn't tell one fucking person, just because how much, because I never wanted to be that bloke, that middle-aged guy that was divorced. How many times have you seen it, growing up and you got engaged, you were early on in your marriage, in the honeymoon phase, and then you see those bitter fucking guys and they just say how bad marriage was, they're gonna take fucking everything, blah, blah, blah. And you just think, you fucking bitter old fucking cunts, just shut your fucking mouth. But the whole, that was so right. That's one of the first things I used to look at when I went to work. Not in a gay way, but I always used to look at the wedding ring fingers on the guys to see who was going to be the bitter fuck. The guys would complain about their marriage, and then with the wedding rings on, and then the guys without them would complain about how they got fucked over in the divorce. And that was one bloke I never wanted to be. And there I fucking was. I was that bloke. So I just went on quietly. Trained when I could. Smiled and nodded. Wondering what people actually did know. And just trying to put it off. Because I thought the day when the paperwork comes through that I'm divorced, I was certain that was going to be the worst day of my life. And I was fucking dreading it. So to cut a long story short, the divorce process went on forever. She never showed up once. I think it went to court 4 times in the end. It was always online though. Never had to physically go there, but it was always, yes, it got pushed back because me being a man, I'm fucking useless at doing the paperwork, and I'd have something that I didn't use a lawyer, I just did it myself, and we got married overseas, so it was a little bit harder. I couldn't remember the hotel or the village in Fiji where we got married. I know it was over there, but back then my mind was occupied with fucking work and making money. We flew over and eloped, and within 3 days we were back in the country and married. So I forgot what the fucking place was called. So it took a little while to get all that paperwork done and pay the right people. I think I paid a couple of different agencies a few times, but whatever, we got there. But it just got dragged out forever and ever and ever. And then it was on the last time that I went, the judge went, she could see that I was trying, and she says, look, you need one more piece of paperwork signed. If you get this to me by whatever date, it was so many days, I'm going to clear it for you. You just need to my brother had to sign something in front of a JP. It was just a piece of paper. And if I could get him to do that, I could load it onto the portal. She said, on this date, you'll have your divorce. You won't even have to attend. It'll just be, you've got it. And anyway, that was done. And then, yeah, fast forward 4 or 5 months, and I was in the car park at the gym, and I had a coffee, saying I wanted to finish it before I went in, and I just had this thought, shit, what? My divorce should be like done now, because I completely and utterly forgot about it. And I went onto the portal, logged in, and then I went to that, whatever code was, and looked it up, and it had been granted. And it was something like, yeah, like a month, 3 weeks to a month. No, I think it was more. It was more like 6 weeks, like before that I got divorced. And I just, fuck yeah, I couldn't believe that. Here I was in the gym, car park, not giving 2 fucks, and 6 weeks before, quietly, the divorce went through. And I didn't give 2 fucks. And I run a business, a news business, and I just remember looking at that date, and I went, okay, that was that date. I went to the emails of the morning to see what the jobs were the night before that we did. And you know, we shoot some pretty horrific shit, and it sticks in your head, and I just remember the date. Not through, because it was significant with getting divorced. I remembered it through my work, and just a particular job that the guy shot the night before. And I just remember how mundane that day was. Same old shit that I've been doing. Getting up at a certain time, going to the gym at 10:30, coming home, editing in the office, writing some scripts, shooting some stuff, getting the kids, taking the son to footy training. And that was it. That was the day that the divorce went through. And I couldn't have given 2 fucking bothered shits about it. Yeah, I never thought that was going to be the case. I always thought that was going to be the worst day of my life. And the reason why I tell that story is because I remember early on when I'd be at work and some people would know that we're going through some shit. Like there's a few people that I spoke to about all the shit that was going on. And they always said, mate, it's gonna get better. Trust me, my mate fucking Terry or whoever, that's a made up name. He's going through the same shit you are and he's fucking loving it now. And I always wanted to punch him in the mouth. Just shut the fuck up. But fuck, they were right. They were so right. They always were right. And this is what I learnt. I built that moment up about getting divorced for years. And I made it bigger than it ever was. So if you're dreading that day, you don't need to fucking dread it. Well, I didn't. And that's my story. And I'm sticking to it. Right, Bodie boy?